We're back here in the CBS 6 Weather Center garden to talk about mosquitoes. They're a big problem this time of year, but more than just a nuisance, they can be a health problem. We hear things about West Nile and Zika virus, even malaria when it comes to mosquitoes. Mosquito expert Ben Woodard is here to share some tips for us today on how to repel mosquitoes and make sure that our backyard garden is safe from the mosquitoes. Good morning, Ben. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Am I dressed correctly to keep the mosquitoes away? Probably not, huh?
Probably not.
Clothing probably has a big difference.
Normally, your darker clothing will attract mosquitoes more than your lighter clothing, lighter colors, darker. It's good that you have on long sleeves.
Yeah, but, I try to do that in the summer because I seem to attract mosquitoes for some reason.
Yes.
Do mosquitoes come to some people more than
others?
They
do. It's a proven fact that there's a difference in the physiology between people and that mosquitoes actually are attracted to some people more than others.
I also read somewhere a long time ago that if you drink beer, it keeps the mosquitoes away because your skin tends to leach that and they don't like that.
Works for me.
Right or not, we'll go with that, right? Well, the first thing, we've got a beautiful water feature here in our garden, but the key to that is it's moving water. And stagnant water can be a really big problem for mosquitoes, can it?
Absolutely. Any water that gets stagnant, if it stays stagnant for 4 to 7 days, you will get mosquitoes in it. So it's really important to keep all of that water dumped out. Things that people don't realize too, there are a lot of hidden spots that that water can be stagnant that they might have never thought about.
I know you were showing me some of those. Point some of those out for the audience.
Okay, one of the biggest things that people need to be aware of is their gutters. If you do not keep your gutters clean, if the downspout is blocked, if it's full of leaves that is allowing water to get stagnant, it will breed mosquitoes.
Now, if they have wet leaves in there, is that an attractant, even though that's maybe not stagnant water, so things that are wet?
If the leaves are wet, then there's typically enough water in there to grow mosquitoes.
And then you've got these, a lot of us have these sitting on the back deck or the back porch, hidden problems in there as well.
So the thing about a bucket like this is or a planter, right, a planter, is that it doesn't look like it would hold much water, but there's actually a hidden lip in here.
We forget about that because that's where the water's draining.
Right. So the water is actually in the very bottom of this is stagnant, and if you don't keep it dumped out or if you don't keep it treated, then it will actually grow mosquitoes.
Now, you told me you brought me a donut.
Yeah,
that's
I brought you a donut,
edible.
not the one that you want to eat. This is called a mosquito dunk. You can get these at Lowe's, Home Depot, Tractor Supply. You can break them up, and what you do is put them in any sort of water that is standing, and it will treat the water and not allow mosquitoes to grow in it.
So what does it do? What is in there that mosquitoes don't like?
What it does is it puts just a little bit of a film on top of the water, and mosquitoes, the larvae, actually have to come to the surface to get air. And with that coating on there, it doesn't allow that.
Now, it seems like mosquitoes are very good breeders. Do they propagate a lot in the water? Do we get lots of them from a few mosquitoes?
Yes, absolutely. And the thing most people don't realize is that mosquitoes don't actually travel very far from where they're born. So normally you'll get a mosquito problem from, it could be your yard or it could be a neighbor, but they normally don't travel very far.
So how long do mosquitoes live?
Mosquitoes live about 3 to 5 days.
Oh, wow, okay. Until you smack them on your arm.
That's right.
And we're in our garden. Are there things that we can grow in our garden that are mosquito repellents? I know sometimes, we're out on a picnic, we'll burn a citronella candle, but there are citronella plants as well. Yeah,
there's plants, and really there's a lot of research you can do online about what sort of plants may be best to help keep them away. It may be something that fits in with your overall gardening scheme or not, but yeah, there are definitely plants that will help, in theory, keep them away. How effective they are, I guess, depends on the amount that you have in your yard.
You mentioned neighbors. What if your neighbor has a mosquito problem and you get your yard treated? Is that going to help you at all?
Yeah, it will, because what we put up is basically a barrier defense. And it will definitely help with your neighbors, but to truly keep the mosquitoes out of your yard, you need to have a conversation with your neighbors about what they can do to eliminate the problem.
You need to do it as a neighborhood.
You need to do it as a neighborhood. And if you have a neighbor that's got tarps laying around that may be trapping water, or if they have old tires that are holding water in the edges, you really need to have a conversation with all of your neighbors to truly keep your yard mosquito free.
So how do we know when our problem gets bad enough that we do need professional intervention?
Well, if you're unable through the plants that you grow or even through any sort of bug spray that you may put on yourself, dumping water and you still cannot get rid of the problem, then you probably need to call us in to take a look.
Okay, and then when you do that, you decide and make a personalized program for that yard and hopefully the neighborhood.
Right. Our technicians come in and we take a look at everything in the yard, and we We show you potential spots that you're going to have an issue, and we'll come and eliminate those sources of that, and then we'll actually put down a treatment as well.
All right, so the first thing we need to do is go home and
Yes.
dump all these things,
Yep.
check the gutters, and
Yep.
make sure that we don't have any standing water
Yeah.
anywhere.
And even something with a bucket like this, even if it's upside down, the water that gets trapped around the edge can breed mosquitoes.
We
So
forget about the lip.
forget about the lip. You got to be really careful and make sure that you look at everything that's in your yard to get them
We
full.
need to think out of the box.
That's right, yep.
All right, Ben Woodard, thanks so much. A
Thank
mosquito
you.
expert joining us here today. If you'd like to get more information on mosquito prevention, we'll put a link on our website by about 1 o'clock or so this afternoon. Just go to WTVR.com/VTM. Ben, thanks so much for coming
Thank
out
you.
and seeing us
Appreciate it.
and joining us in the hot and humid
Yeah.
weather.